Hello friends and welcome to the Tolkien universe. In this video, we are going to summarize the 6 great wars of the Elves and their allies against Morgoth in the lands of Beleriand during the First Age of Middle-earth. These wars are explained in different chapters of the Silmarillion. I also want to say that almost the whole script of this video has been extracted from the Encyclopedia of Arda. I'll leave a link down below in the description box to this website. So, without further ado, let's get started. These are the wars in the First Age between the Noldor and their allies, the Sindar and the Edain, against the forces of Morgoth in Angband. The first battle, the Dagor-nuin-Giliath, the Dagor-aglared, the Dagor-bragolach, and the Nirnaeth Arnoediad. Moreover, at the end of the First Age, the Valar helped the sons of Ilúvatar in the 6th battle, the War of Wrath. Let's see them one by one. The first battle, which occurred roughly 30 years before the first rising of the sun and moon, is explained in Chapter 10 of the Silmarillion, titled Of the Sindar. After his return to Middle-earth, Morgoth wasted no time in preparing an assault on its peoples. Less than 20 years after his return, he launched an overwhelming attack on the Sindar and their allies. In the east, the Sindar and the Elves of Ossirian succeeded in destroying the Orc army at great cost, with the aid of the dwarves of the Blue Mountains. In the west, though, the Orcs were undefeated, and the battle ended with Círdan besieged in the havens of the Falas. At this time, Doriath was surrounded by the impenetrable girdle of Melian to guard against future attacks. Number 2. Dagor-nuin-Giliath is the name of the second battle and took place around 30 years after the first battle, when Fëanor and his people returned to Middle-earth and made camp in the land of Mithrim, between the arms of the Mountains of Shadow. Hoping for a rapid victory, Morgoth sent an army from the north, while the Orcs that were besieging Círdan turned back to assault Fëanor from the south. The Orcs greatly outnumbered the Elves, and the battle lasted for 10 days. But ultimately, Fëanor was victorious, and the Orc armies were destroyed. This battle was fought in the darkness just before the rising of the moon or sun, and became known as Dagor-nuin-Giliath, the Battle Under Stars. We can read about this battle in the Silmarillion, chapter 13, titled Of the Return of the Noldor. Number 3. The Dagor-aglared, which was fought in the year 60 after the rising of the sun. After his crushing defeat in the Dagor-nuin-Giliath, Morgoth spent time preparing his next attack on Beleriand. In the 60th year since the rising of the sun, he once again launched an assault from the north, sending armies to invade Dorthonion from the west and east. However, the forces of the Noldor were ready, and both of the Orcs' great armies were destroyed by the Elves. This became known as the Glorious Battle, Dagor-aglared in Elvish, and so the setting of the siege of Angband by the Noldor. With that siege in place, Morgoth attempted no new major attacks for the next 4 centuries. The Dagor-aglared is also mentioned in the 13th chapter of the Silmarillion. Fourth battle, the Dagor-bragolach. Morgoth used the centuries of siege to prepare a massive retaliation against his enemies. One winter's night, rivers of flame flowed out of the north, and vast armies of Orcs, led by Balrogs and the dragon Glaurung, swept away the besieging Noldor. With the siege of Angband broken, the forces of the Elves and Edain were scattered, and few of their defences remained. The battle was named for the fires that had issued from Angband, Dagor-Bragola, the Battle of Sudden Flame. During this battle, Angrod and Aegnor, sons of Finarfin, were killed, and the Lord of Ladrus, Bregolas, also fell. This battle is explained in the Silmarillion in chapter 18, called Of the Ruin of Beleriand and the Fall of Fingolfin. The war number 5 against Morgoth was the Nirnaeth Arnoediad, and took place in 471. After the disaster of the Dagor-Bragola, the Elves and Edain rallied their forces and planned an overwhelming counterattack against Angband. Forces from the west under Fingon and the east under Maedhros were said to come together and take revenge for the Bragolach. Those plans came close to success, but through ill luck and treachery the attack finally failed, and Morgoth claimed a crushing victory. Because of the dreadful losses in that battle, it was known as the Nirnaeth Arnoediad, the Battle of Unnumbered Tears. In chapter 20 of the Silmarillion we can read about this battle. Number 6. The War of Wrath. After the Nirnaeth, resistance to Morgoth was limited to a few hidden cities and realms, and these were destroyed one after the other until only a cluster of refugees remained, driven into the far south of Beleriand at the mouths of Sirion. It seemed that Morgoth's forces were unstoppable, but the lord of the remaining free elves and men, Earendil, son of Tuor, had a last desperate hope. With the aid of a Silmarill's power, he succeeded in crossing the Great Sea and pleading for help from the Valar themselves. The Valar accepted his plea and sent an immense force into Middle-earth. The resulting War of Wrath, also called the Great Battle, was cataclysmic, rending the earth and destroying most of Beleriand. At its end, Angband lay in ruins, and the captured Morgoth was cast out from the world. So ended the wars of Beleriand, and with them the first age of the world, and the lands of Beleriand themselves, that sank beneath the waters of the Great Sea. We can read about this war in the 24th and last chapter of the Silmarillion. Well friends, and that's all for this video. Hopefully we have now a clear idea about the different battles that took place in Beleriand during the first age of Arda. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos on Tolkien's universe. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Namarie.